Alright, so there's a lot of content I'm going to be making tonight, so sort of buckle up your seatbelt, don't move at all from your seat, because a lot of stuff's coming, and I wanted to make yet another video on the Baltimore Ravens, because this team is a fucking disaster, and listen, nobody, no coordinator, no coach would win with the amount of injuries they had during this game. They definitely could have done better. They could have been way more competitive with a Texans team that going into this game had one of the worst offenses in the entire NFL. Couldn't move the ball, couldn't run, couldn't throw, couldn't block, couldn't do anything, right? Incompetent in every level of the game, except for defense, where they're, easily the best defense in the NFL. They've only allowed, 54 points through, 5 games? That's pretty ridiculous, to be honest with you. They have by far the best defense, and it showed. Cooper Rush is who people thought Cooper Rush was. He's a fucking trash backup with a cream puff lollipop arm, and he's not even really a good backup, to be honest with you. Doesn't fit the system. You need a mobile quarterback in that system. Having a dude who's a statue who can't run those sort of zone read option plays, or get out of the pocket when there's pressure or any sign of danger, is not very good. You need someone who can run in that system. I'm not saying, bring Tyler Huntley back, because Tyler Huntley was a sack of crap, all right? He was horrible. I'm just saying you need a mobile quarterback in that system, because that's, it's tailored toward a mobile quarterback, because Lamar Jackson's the most mobile, athletic quarterback we've ever seen. Correct? We've ever fucking seen. A lot of people say Vic, but I say Lamar pretty easily from watching him for years and years and years on end. You need a mobile quarterback in this offensive system, and with a statue like Rush, you saw what happened on the field today. It was embarrassing. They were completely embarrassed. The defense, with all the injuries, was horrendous. CJ Stroud went the fuck off. The run, Texans' run game looked a borderline dominant. And for the whole season so far for Houston, it's been the opposite story. It's been different. It's been the run game sucks. We can't protect the quarterback, or quarterback can't make the throws. But in this game, Stroud was hitting every throw. He was actually running. CJ Stroud was running all over. Well, I think he had one run, but still, he had a 30-yard run, and that's just ridiculous. You can't be allowing 30-yard runs to CJ Stroud. Not saying that CJ Stroud is a statue. I'm just saying CJ Stroud is not the most mobile quarterback. He can get out of the pocket, he can make a play, he can scramble. That doesn't mean he's fucking mobile, all right? There's a difference between being able to improvise and scramble a bit and being mobile, and Stroud is barely mobile, if we're being honest. He's mobile enough to play in the NFL, so he's serviceable, is what I'm trying to say. And Harbaugh answered a question. He said that he thinks that firing Zachary Orr, whatever the fuck the guy's name is, the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens, would not solve any of the problems with the defense. Well, I do agree with why he said that. Acting like Orr isn't a part of the issue is an even bigger problem, and it shows that Harbaugh is a little out of touch. I'm not saying fire Harbaugh, right? Harbaugh should probably stay the coach for the foreseeable future, unless this season is a disaster and they win 4 or 5 games, and maybe you can legitimately consider firing him. The Ravens, they moved to just a horrific record now. What are they? They're 1-4 now. The season is almost certainly lost. There's not been many teams in the history of the National Football League that have started out the season 1-4 and made the playoffs, let alone won a playoff game. I'm pretty sure there's been maybe only a couple of teams since, let's say, 1985 that have started at a 1-4 clip and actually made the playoffs, let alone once again win a playoff game, as I've been saying. And Texans, they moved to 2-3, but the main story for this game with me is how lackadaisical the effort was. It looks like the players didn't care, and it was clear that the lack of talent and depth that the Ravens have. They're ravaged with injuries. I understand they're going to get some of those guys back soon, but even when those guys were healthy, the defense was horrible. So even without those guys, they're horrible with them. They're horrible. Their defense is horrible. So it's got to be a bit on the coordinator, right? You can't just say it's a talent thing, because you're telling me guys like Marlon Humphrey and Roquan Smith aren't good players in this league, and Kyle Hamilton, they aren't great players in this league. That's some of the 3 best defensive players in the NFL. They're on the same fucking roster. You're telling me you can't work with those guys? Hell no. And Madubuike, I believe, he's on IR, so another really good defensive player. You're telling me with those guys, even with those guys in the lineup, you suck. No, there's a problem with the play calling, with the schematics of the defense here. And that's on Zachary Orr, man. Zachary Orr, he needs to go. He needs to be fired. He's horrible. From what I'm seeing, his defense is just let everybody run all over us. Let everybody, throw the ball all over the field and make everybody look like a superstar. As for their offense, it was pathetic. It was embarrassing. Their run game, I'm saying run game like they had one in this one. They had 40 rushing yards. Derrick Henry got a touchdown, but had 2 yards of carry. Cooper Rush, 3 interceptions. Just fucking horrible. I think like one of them wasn't on him. But he's god-awful, man. Cooper Rush does not fit the system, does not know the system, and does not fit the scheme. So he should not be trotted out there, even as a backup. He's okay as a backup, right? But you would never want to see that guy step on the field because at that point, oh, fuck, well, this game is pretty much over. I can go do whatever the fuck I want to do in my free time instead of watching this shitty team lose, right? That's how a lot of Ravens fans feel right now. If you're a Ravens fan, tell me how you're feeling in the comments down below. I rarely ask you guys to, to say or do stuff or reply in the comments or whatever the hell, to what I'm saying in the video. But still, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this team because I feel like the overall consensus is this team right now is fucked. There's nothing. Even when Lamar gets back, even when Humphrey, when Roquan Smith, when all those defensive guys get healthy, Madubuike, when they get back, they're going to be the same team. It's going to be the same shit. They're going to be getting scored 30-plus points a game on. They have the worst defense in the NFL. The worst defense in the NFL. And we're rivaling scrub defenses like the Carolina Panthers and the Cincinnati Bengals, who are just two wretched teams. They have nothing. Both of these teams, they have an excuse. They don't have anyone. With the Ravens, what's their excuse? Their coordinator and their schematics on defense are horrible. It's just leave everyone open. Let's get ran on. And then offensively, let's not try to help the fucking defense out whatsoever. Let's just give up because we have a backup quarterback in the game. Let's just flounder. Let's completely flounder. Let's completely fail at everything we do at every phase of the game and get embarrassed. And then let's say, oh no, we shouldn't fire the coordinator because it's not all on him because of our talent deficit, because of injuries. We've been brutalized with players being hurt, and it can't possibly be on the coordinator. Even when these players were healthy and ready to go on Sundays, they were horrible. They were getting fucking nuked by teams, and nothing's going to change. So until they fire Orr, they're going to keep giving up 30 points a game. They're going to lose every single game that they don't score over 30 points in. If they score 28, they're going to lose. They score 29, they're going to lose. I'm willing to say if they score 30 to 31, they're going to lose, right? But there's a bigger problem here, right? There's a bigger problem than talent. There's a bigger problem than just that. And I'm not going to say I blame Harbaugh fully, right? There's responsibility that has to be bared here, correct? And deflecting blame off of, the defensive coordinator Orr is kind of pathetic, to be honest with you, because he is probably the root of the problem. Because even with all the good players they have, they play like shit. So what's the point of keeping this guy if he's not going to do his job correctly? It's like you have a shitty quarterback who keeps fumbling and throwing interceptions, Geno Smith, and you keep him in the game and you give some illogical, illiterate, borderline, dumb fuck reason for why he's still in the game, right? Geno Smith. And it's crazy to me why would you answer that? Why would you say that in a press conference? Why would you try to make him look like the victim and the good guy in this situation? He's the motherfucker that's killing the team right now. You've got to get rid of him. You've got to find someone way more qualified than this guy, because what I'm seeing from this guy's defense and this guy's scheme on defense, it's horrible. I'm dead serious when I say this. I really believe that this fucking idiot is actually calling the shittiest plays on purpose. On purpose. And I don't know what the rationale, the reasoning, or why that would be the case, but it's just, it's a feeling. I can't prove it, but I feel like it's happening. That'll be my logic. I know it's very flawed, twisted, and stupid at best. Stupid at best logic, folks, but trust me, when I have a gut feeling, I tend to listen to it, and my gut feeling is this dude is calling shit games on defense on purpose. And maybe he's going to scapegoat the talent. Maybe he's going to scapegoat the other coaches. I don't know, but there's just something off with this team. The vibes are off with this team. This team, I can't even say they're erratic because they're so consistent with how shit they are that there's nothing erratic about it. they're the worst defense in the NFL. Once again, if you told people, oh, well, the Ravens are going to have the worst defense in the NFL through 5 weeks of the NFL season, and they're going to be 1-4, and their quarterback's hurt, and half their team's hurt on defense, and they got a couple offensive players hurt as well. Yeah, that's going to be that. People would look at you preseason with bug eyes, with literally bug eyes as wide as a motherfucker, and they would say to you, bro, you're crazy, stop tripping, you're fucking stupid, what are you even talking about, you don't even make any sense, your point, your logic is flawed, they're going to be a great defense, you're a hater, you're a fan of, this team, that team, whatever the fuck, and you're stupid. That's what they're going to say. But that's what they were going to say. Right now, those same people are like, wow, this team is fucking horrible. And I thought going into the year, this defense would be good. They have players. They have dudes that can play on Sundays at a high level. And they're just not doing it. And then they get hurt, and now they're looking cooked because they're playing fucking high schoolers. Now they're playing practice squad high school scrubs, and they look like practice squad high school scrubs with a shitty defensive coordinator who's in over his head. So yeah, man, the Ravens, you guys are fucked right now. This is an untenable situation. You can't win. I don't see how you can win in this. I really don't see how you can win in this. I don't see it. I don't see how you can win with this defense. Even when Lamar gets back and healthy and plays, that won't matter because they're going to lose regardless, right? So thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.